Nice. There it is.
All right, let me just get all my stuff set.
I'm doing good, Kate. How are you doing?
Whoops.
I took a little shot there. Shouldn't have did that, but hey, it is what it is. Try to make something happen. I picked the wrong team, Kate. Really? What's the right team? Tell me that. Who's the right team? Nice. Who's the right team, Kate? I gotta know that, bro. Huh. I haven't played against the Jets. I know they got good defense. They got a good safety in Edwards that just went to where did he go? New England? He went somewhere on the West Coast. He went to Seattle, I thought. Did he miss it? Oh, he missed it. He missed that field goal. I ain't missed that field goal. That was like a 35-yard field goal. The flock, the MVP. Oh, Kansas City? Uh, what's up? Oh, there he is. Professor Jobs. He's in the stream now. All right, let's see here. Let's get some. I got some last minute. I got 11 seconds. All right, so that means I got to move the ball fast. We could work towards field goal range. Let's see. Who do I have at quarterback? I got Lamar Jackson, and my clock's running out.
Is my audio coming through your stream too?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because are people going to hear my questions or just going to hear your answers?
Oh, good question. Good question. I don't think they hear you. Do y'all hear Dr. Robbie? Let me know. You don't hear him? Let me know. Yes, Cake. I got jokes today. Today is a fun day. Do y'all have any other voices in the chat?
They're saying
No,
no.
no, they don't. No, no, they don't. So there we go.
All right, so that's fine. I mean, as long as they don't mind listening to you tell me what's going on.
I'll repeat the question. I could repeat it.
Yeah, because the other side of that question was should I address them too? Like, hello everybody on Ahman's stream, but I guess not. No worries.
Or what you can do, my camera. Is my camera frozen? Yeah, my camera. What you can do is write the question in the chat.
True. I guess I'll do that.
And that'll be a way to work that.
That's a much better idea.
All right. So I'm gonna just let everybody know that what you're doing. So Dr. Robbie, who is
Corey. Sorry,
I had Robbie in my head earlier. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Corey.
I noticed when Rob O mentioned something in chat, you read his name and said that name instead.
Right. See, I'm doing too much at time. Right now, I'm overstimulated. Okay, I'm overweight. I got headsets. I'm playing Madden. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the stream. My brain is on overload right now. So, Dr. Corey will be throwing questions in the chat, so I don't have to repeat everyone every time when I give the answer to it. And he's going to be asking me questions about my career, about what I do now, but then also about how I work out, how I take care of myself, things of that nature. And what he does as well.
All right, so let me get this all set, and then we'll go. Yeah, so my stream's going to hear me clicking around a lot, but that's all right. So I'm just going to introduce my stream, and then we'll begin. Sounds good?
Yep.
All right.
Real good.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today we got a special guest. We have former Pro Bowl NFL running back and Packers legend Ahman Green. and we're going to talk to him today. Actually, not about his football career, but about his esports career that's following his great football career. So we got him. He's actually playing Madden right now while we're doing this. So he's multitasking, and it'll be a fun ride. Yeah, to watch him play and listen to him respond at the same time.
Exactly. What's up, Fire Eagle? Alex, the usual suspect in the house. Mako, 1776.
All right. So we're going to begin with the simple question. So, Ahman, how long have you been playing video games?
Let's do the math. I'm 43. And so how long I've been playing video games? I'm 43, and I started playing when I was 5.
All right. So you got 38, 37, 38 years, depending on where your birthday falls.
February 16th.
All right, nice.
My birthday. Yes, indeed.
So you're a 38-year video game vet. So 38 years ago, what were the video games you were playing?
I was playing 38 years ago. I had ColecoVision. I was playing Zaxxon, and who else? Donkey Kong. Zaxxon and Donkey Kong. That's what I was doing.
Were you playing Tecmo Bowl yet, or is that too far back?
No, not yet. It was probably like 2 years prior. I was playing Tech.
Because figure you're playing Madden now. You probably played Tecmo Bowl as the beginning of your football esports or football video game career.
Exactly. It was what started with the first official football game that I played, and it was on Nintendo. It was 10-Yard Fight before Tecmo Bowl.
I've
and
never
if you
even
remember
heard of
10-Yard, yeah, so 10-Yard Fight, it was basic generic teams, generic uniforms. Obviously, they didn't have no contract with the NFL or NCAA. And when you got the ball, when the ball was kicked off, when the ball was thrown, or you were running for a touchdown, it would go.
Yeah, the 8-bit
It was like a little drum beat going while you're running the ball or running the kickoff back. It was interesting to hear that.
That's awesome.
What's up, D Squad? How you doing?
I remember the first football games I can remember video games were a game called Unnecessary Roughness, and then
Yes, I remember that game.
another one was Tom Landry's football something.
Oh my god!
I don't know if they're the
Was that
same.
on PC?
I don't even know if they're the same game, but it was one of them. I remember those two names. I remember Tom Landry and I remember Unnecessary Roughness.
Okay.
For some old school video game, football game.
Right. Was that on PC? Or was that console?
I played PC games when I was younger. We didn't have a console yet, so it had to have been there.
Okay.
All right, so let's now that we're secure on that one, next question we got: what are your favorite games to play now that we're 38 years past your beginning?
Right. Well, I'll say what I'm doing right now, I'm playing Madden, and in terms of sports games, and then playing Halo. That's my other one.
Yeah,
shooter.
Good answer.
And then, that's a big one for me. But I play Call of Duty now because I'm coaching it, so I got to know it. So I've been hot and heavy on COD. I was actually in a tournament the other night.
Oh yeah.
The other day we finished top 4.
Nice.
In the tournament, the esports team for Lakeland University, where I'm the esports coach at.
Nice.
So that was cool to do with my future teammates or future players, not teammates.
Yeah.
I gotta catch myself. Well, we were teammates for the moment, for that day.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll be teammates in other off-campus events, but you'll be their coach, obviously, for the actual collegiate esport. So that's a good lead into the next one. So what actually got you into the competitive scene? What got you into esports versus just playing video games for fun?
I found out I wasn't going to be the best at playing, so I thought about it. So that what got me into esports was, look, I'm not going to be the best. I'm not going to beat Skimbo. I'm not going to beat Problem. If I play shooters, I'm not going to be as good as Ninja. So I might as well coach them up. And that's what got me into coaching. And then knowing the right people in the industry, meeting some good people. A good friend, Hank Basket, he got me connected with some people in the industry, companies people that work for companies in the industry, like games cases where he's at now, and where he still works with them. But he connected me with people with at Lucia Sound headsets, where they connected with a guy by the name of Snoop Dogg. That's why I'm wearing the head. That's the headsets I have on now.
Oh yeah.
These are the S35s, a little different. They're not the Snoops, but they are the ones that are the popular ones. I got his on the side right here. They're just sitting chilling right now.
I like that.
Bluetooth.
I like that casual name drop. A guy called Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I like to do that.
Yeah, it's. I want to be in that position one day to casually drop names. I'll casually drop your name here and there. Be like, yeah, I talked to Ahman. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, thanks. So meeting those people, meeting Hank, and then connecting the dots. Another guy, Quentin, Clark. What's Clinton's last name? It's been a while since we talked. But Quentin, he's the owner of this company called Glitch Gear, and they make video game apparel, basically.
Nice.
Hats, T-shirts, and connecting with guys like that, where we would just sit there and just talk business, and we would talk video games, we would talk the culture and everything, and get that down in our head, and just share different ideas about the industry, likes and dislikes, games we play, fan following stuff. Star Wars eventually will come up 20 times in every conversation.
Oh, but yeah, as it should.
Exactly. So it was just fun interacting with people and finding out that it wasn't much different than me being in a locker room. And guys that that I hung out there were just football players. Now these new guys I'm hanging out with, they're into video games and they're into growing their business too. So it's just all fun. It's just all fun and games. And then I ended up connecting dots to different people. Then I met a guy by the name of Larry Ridley, and he was one of the voices of Madden. And
nice.
He was one of the commentators. So I connected with him, and he's like, Ahman, I heard you want to get into shoutcasting. I'm doing Madden tournament soon. So you want to do this with me? I'm doing my own tournament. You want to join in? I was like, yeah, man. And so from there, that's when I just started jumping on a plane, going to the East Coast now this is back in 2000, I would say 2017, 16 and 17, 16 to 17, where basically all the spring and summer of 16, I was on an airplane. I'm going to the East Coast, jumping on, went to tournaments here and there with Larry, with his crew, Kevin, Kick, Punch, and Block. Those guys, great guys. They know their stuff about production. They know their stuff about gaming. Larry is an outstanding shoutcaster. He's still doing it today, and he's doing his own thing. He's doing stuff that a lot of people are not doing. He's making his own way. So that's where I started doing too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so I take it eventually all of that then led to an opportunity at Lakeland, right? So now they named you their esports head coach at Lakeland. Is that the job title?
Yep, esports head coach.
So I was gonna say at Lakeland University, esports head coach. What does that job entail? What exactly is that? Because in classically speaking, if you think of a game like Call of Duty or Halo, a lot of those games, the coach is the guy that's at the event, standing directly behind them and guiding them stepwise through the game. Is that it? Are you doing only that, or are you doing more than that?
I'm doing just about that.
Okay.
I'm doing just about that. Like right now, I've just been putting the team together. This is year 0. So here in literally 2 weeks from today, we'll have our first day of training camp.
Nice.
And the way I'm gonna do it in a planning, mimic it of what I know about training camp in terms of in football. I'm gonna take that recipe, obviously mix it up a few different ingredients because we're not outside, we're not full contact, physically.
Yeah, you're not tackling people.
Exactly, but we're virtual, and it's a different mindset now. So just doing that and making a schedule for it and doing things that I know I got to do to get I say the team ready to go. So training camp for me is 2 a day. So that means we're going to have 2 practice sessions a day. one in the morning, one in the evening, and it's going to actually mimic the season that we're going to play in the fall, because in the fall season we have most of our games in the evening. They're starting around 4 p.m. Central Standard, going to about 9 p.m. Central
Mm-hmm.
Standard. So we're going to be in a place where, during that time, then they'll be in the, playing their game at a certain time of day, and so they're used to it once we get to the regular competition. It
Yeah.
won't be no big, adjustments.
And I take it that obviously during this this unprecedented time of the coronavirus pandemic, where you won't be traveling much, you won't be going anywhere. But when that settles, you'll then be traveling like any other collegiate sport, where you'll go to events, you'll go to other colleges and play them. Is that how that works too?
Yep, exactly. And that's the fun part.
Yeah, that's so
When
cool.
we can't get back to traveling, we can travel to the West Coast. We'll go play the Oregon Ducks
Mm-hmm.
in COD, and go play USC and Madden, stuff like that. It just will be like, oh, like we could do this. This is sweet.
Yeah, so that actually that's perfect, because that leads me to my next question. I was going to ask, does the do collegiate esports follow the same model as traditional college sports with the Division 1, Division 2 model, or is it just everybody? Is it regional based? Is there anything like that?
No, it follows just competition.
Okay.
So it doesn't follow the traditional sense. So there's
Mm-hmm.
no D1 versus D1. We could play, like I mentioned, we could play against the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, so that's what
We
I mean.
could
You
play,
led me into that one perfectly.
yeah, we could play against the Buckeyes. We could go play against the Badgers. We're right here in Wisconsin. We
Yeah,
could go
there you
play
go.
the Badgers in Fortnite or in League of Legends. So
That's awesome.
it's that's the awesome part about it. And so now every esports player, not just my players at Lakeland, they can get to experience what most college athletes get only if they're at the D1 level.
Mm-hmm.
And D1 talent faces D1 talent, but we're going to face talent in all classes.
Yeah.
And but then that's going to take us places not just here in the U.S. Once we get back traveling, we're going to be able to go around the world and
Yeah.
still be able to
That's cool.
have an outstanding time.
That's really cool. Being able to go travel, like imagine going to your local or your small state college, getting your esports, making it to the esports team, and then being able to travel cross country around the world, playing the video game that you love while getting your education. That sounds like the dream. It's a shame that wasn't like that when we were in school.
Right.
And then
I'm
also,
like, dude,
also a shame that you and I weren't good enough to do that. But that's a different category.
exactly. And I've been like, dude, I'm all over that, but I'm not that good.
So
I was like, I can give it a shot.
So I have a question from the chat, from my chat. One of my viewers wants to know: are the players being recruited for one game, just like players are recruited for one sport? Can you cross over, or is it everybody's one?
So yeah, I've been recruiting players and asking them the question, what's your primary game and what's your secondary game?
Okay.
So I'll be recruiting guys and girls that if you play more than one game, I want you. I want to come in. I want to check you out. I want you on my squad. I'm gonna lose this one here. He's in field goal range. It's all good. I'm multitasking. I'm surprised I got this far.
Yeah, you're doing
without
pretty
getting
well.
blown out.
You're at 9-7 in the fourth. That's pretty good.
Right. I was able to at least D him up. Couldn't keep him out the end zone though.
So
Out of field goal range.
following up on the no divisions, no regional restriction, and that players are being recruited for primary game and potentially secondary game, do colleges, and particularly your college, does Lakeland University offer scholarships for your student athlete esports teams?
Not yet, but we do have scholarships available.
Okay.
It's to a point where we're gonna now, with being year one, we can develop a scholarship fundraising program.
Okay, there you go.
And so that's one of our goals, to have an esports scholarship. So when I have recruited kids this season, I said we don't have like per se named esports scholarships, but we have scholarships if you have good grade, passing grades, and you pass all your test scores for high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
So you see what I'm saying? So they're there. You just gotta make sure how any athlete from or any student. As long as you have a good GPA and you pass all the test scores, you're good to go.
Yeah, so they're still emphasizing student first
Yes.
in the student athlete. That's good. That's obviously always most important. So
Yep.
in regards to your teams, you had mentioned briefly how you're going to have some sort of training camp. You'll do 2 days, you'll do those things. And obviously, it's not the same as what we do in traditional sports, especially a sport as physical as football. But is I know from your background, we spoke about this a little bit earlier. Physical activity being so important in your life. How is physical activity, exercise, how is that going to fit into your esports program? Is that going to be
So physical.
mandatory for you?
Yes, yes, it's mandatory for me, and it's going to fit in an hour a day. So
Hour
between
a
the
day.
two, 3 hour practice, so my practice sessions are going to be 3 hours long, and then we're going to have time for obviously lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and in the middle of the day or before the or right after the first practice session, that's when we have our team training, and team
Okay.
training is going to be nothing but an hour. It's going to be an hour, and we're going to have a dynamic warm up. We're going to have uh, more of a cardio fitness training in the first week to kind of get everybody going. Don't want to just throw them in the grinder right away and scare them half to death. So wait a minute, I thought I was here to play video games. It's now become a football player, a baseball player, a basketball player.
Yeah, right.
But slowly, but just basically teaching them basic, I say, workout modalities or
Hmm.
mechanics that they can use in their regular life. Like I would show this to somebody that I was a strength coach at one time. I owned a training facility. So this was things I was teaching my clients at my training facility. So to the average person too, this is what you should know. You should be on a treadmill or you should have cardio workout at least an hour a day. And that's just for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're, an esports athlete, your grandmother, grandfather, a 9-year-old, you should be out, you should be active. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be active an hour a day. Like I said, we're gonna do a dynamic warm up. Then we're gonna get on the recumbent bike, stationary bike, treadmill, stairmaster for anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes,
Hmm.
and then we're gonna stretch, and then take a shower, go eat lunch, and then get back to
Back on the
break it
grind,
down,
right?
back on the grind of COD and Madden and FIFA and Smash, Rainbow Six. So
Yeah.
so the kids understand. Look, you're not just there for video games in college. You're there for books first. You're there to get an education, get your degree.
Hmm.
Then number two, you could put at number two your gaming. Then number three is your healthcare, learning how to get good habits built in that world.
That's awesome. So yeah, you're not just gonna let them come in, play video games, go home. That's important. So
Right.
and
We're just not gonna sit there. I mean, which I know nothing against. Oh, I know game orgs over in Korea and overseas they put in 10 to 12 hours,
yeah.
and that is just the way. That's what the way they learned how to game.
Hmm.
And that's great for them. It works for them. It's part of their DNA. But the way my philosophy is, the way I was raised. I could game for a couple hours, then get my butt outside, go get active,
Yep.
go get active for a little bit.
Yeah.
Go get in trouble. That's what my dad would jokingly say. Go get in trouble, but I would get in trouble. The football going to my neighbor's yard, I'll be running through her roses, and she'd be cussing me out.
Yeah. I
I'll be
mean,
getting told what's going on by my mom, by our neighbor. My mom will be like, "Boy, you was over in her yard again." I'm like, "I can't help it. The football, the soccer ball, I was kicking it and it did that and the other. I'm sorry, not on purpose."
yeah. I mean,
Thanks for the raid, Joe. Victor Titos, hola mi amigo. So sorry about that.
no, you're good. I was gonna say that I grew up the same fashion. It was always just if it wasn't awful outside, then we had to be outside, and even if it was raining, it was encouraged to go outside and enjoy it. And then I
Even the
went,
rain, even the rain. My mom was like, "Go play in it. It's hot
yeah,
out. It's the summer. It's
yeah,
hot.
jump around in the
It's humid."
puddles. Yeah, enjoy
Exactly.
it. And then I went to school for health and exercise science, so I learned obviously very intimately how important exercise is. And then when
Right.
I went to chiropractic school, one of my professors in particular was very vocal about the phrase he used was movement is life. When you stop moving, you stop living, and that's the mantra. I agree with that 100%. So I'm glad that you're doing the same thing with your guys.
I would give. You said who said that to you?
He was one of our professors at school. It was the movement is life.
Gotcha. I would give that professor a high five.
Yeah.
Bam. Yes. I had a coach. I had strength coaches say that to me. I've been in 3 different states where I played pro ball. Washington State, where I was a Seahawk, Wisconsin, and Texas, and every chiropractor always said that to me.
Yep.
And I never went to a team without doing my research, finding the best chiropractor before I got there.
Oh man, I'm gonna clip that and make sure everybody hears that. Ahman Green is a supporter of chiropractic.
Big time. Like I'm like fiending for, because I have my guy here, Dr. King, Howard Chiropractic. I haven't seen him in months because of COVID.
And you're aching for it.
So I'm
quite literally aching for it.
So I'm gonna give him, since you said you're like half capacity, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give him a call.
Yeah, we had so just a side note to give a background of what we're doing. When COVID shut everything down, we checked some of the standards of care and what we were supposed to do, and our malpractice carrier made recommendations and everything. So what we ended up doing was one patient at a time, because I have a small practice. I wear the mask, the patient wears the mask. They could take it off, obviously, when they lie down on the table because you have to be able to breathe. But it's everybody wears the mask one at a time. You wipe the table like always, but kind of excessively, and add a little bit extra to it. And as long as it was one at a time, keeping people away from each other, it was okay. It was green light. So that was good. But then it was just the people's need or the people's want to come back, because that didn't come back quite as quickly. But I mean, I'm psyched that you agree with the chiropractic background. That's something that you participate in regularly. Love to hear it.
Yes.
So we got physical down, and now the next question is, what about your esports student athletes' nutrition supplementation? Obviously, somebody so interested in their health as you are, you're not just going to let them eat whatever they want. You're going to encourage some healthier habits.
Yeah, so I've been going through my esports first meeting pitch presentation and going down a list of stuff, and I have a section of nutrition and how it's going to be highly suggestive. So you don't have to do this, but I highly suggest that you think about this with your health. In terms of drinking a lot of water, because I know there are gamers that drink coffee, which coffee is okay. But then there's a product out there that in the gaming world is called G Fuel.
Oh yeah.
Nothing against them. I don't know exactly every ingredient in their mix, but I know some of that I used to take, or I had teammates that took pre-workouts, and some of that stuff you just gotta make sure, be aware of what's in it. That's all. And how that affects your body in a good way or bad way. Just know that stuff. So I would just highly suggest, because it's about being hydrated and being overall being healthy. And I'll say to my esports players that be aware, watch your sugar intake, because some of these products, they have the energy label on them, but it's the sugar aspect of it that you want to be aware of, because anything more than 12 grams of sugar is a lot of sugar.
Yeah, that's so a little bit off topic on that, just kind of more specific to health and wellness. Specifically, fructose and high fructose corn syrup is the ultimate villain in the food industry, and unfortunately, it's in so many different foods. Basically, if it has a long shelf life, it probably also has high fructose corn syrup, and that's such an incredible danger to your overall health. It's essentially the foundation of most of those metabolic syndromes, including type 2 diabetes and overweight or obesity, which then leads to heart disease and 1,000 other problems. It's the sugar is a really big deal, and kind of backing up and combining what we were just talking about, your carbohydrate intake should be pretty intimately connected with your physical activity level. So if somebody is physically inactive, their carbohydrate and sugar intake should be very low. versus somebody like you who's been exercising your whole life. You can handle more carbohydrates and a little bit more sugar because you're actively burning it while you're eating it. So
Exactly.
that's always stuff that I talk about on my stream, and stuff I talk about with my patients is in terms of nutrition. It's always nutrient rich is always the most important. If you're eating a food that only has carbohydrate and has no nutrients, probably not the best option. Like, for example, if you take something like spinach, you have vitamins, you have the minerals, you have the nutrient, the protein, and a little bit of carb. Versus if you eat like pretzels or something, you're getting
Right.
only carb and absolutely no value for it.
Zero value. What's up, Spicy Szechuan? Corso 5. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're talking with Dr. Corey.
There you go.
Esports. He's the owner of Esports Healthcare that makes CBD products and other items. You could go to the link. Actually, let me see here if I can get this link.
So again, correction: skins.gg is the CBD maker. I'm the chiropractor. I don't make products.
Got it. There you go. So scans.gg makes the product. He's a chiropractor. He kind of supports the company. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Let me get here to the stream chat before I get a penalty here. I'll paste that in there.
Yeah, you did it before you got penalized for not playing.
Exactly. All right, here we go. Got the ball back now. So check out the website I just threw in there. So he's gonna ask me questions, and he's gonna also throw them in the chat so you can see what I'm answering to. All right.
So then, yeah, you mentioned it briefly, but I want to get a little bit more of an idea about the pre and post. So, do you incorporate and or do you recommend your gamers perform a warm up prior to gaming and stretches after gaming, particularly for their hands, their fingers, hand, wrists, forearm, more than anything else?
Yes. I've been doing my homework, and so I've done found out, elbow stretch, or not elbow, forearm stretches, things of that nature to get blood flow there before and after. So a lot of movements that I already do will help out the midsection. A lot of lunging, forward, backward, reverse lunges, gets the midsection moving around. Make sure we twisting the torso back and forth to make sure that back stays active and doesn't get stuck. Got another penalty here. But yes, I have, and that's going to be, like I said, giving useful tips to my players.
Yeah. So
basically.
Yeah. So I love that you're incorporating also not just hand, wrist, and forearm, but actually core stability and lower body strength as well. But specifically for the hand and wrist stuff, I'll send you a link when we're done. We made a warm up and a stretch program pre and post. There's also an injury prevention thing that I'll send you, and then some things for coordination, dexterity, and take a look at them. If you feel like using them, I will be very thankful. And if you feel like you want to use something else, I have no hard feelings. I just want my info to be out there for people to use if they choose,
Okay.
and if not, as long as you find something that works for you, that's all I'm really worried about.
All right.
So then I got one more question about the program specifically, and then a quick few questions about skins, because they're the reason that you and I are linked together right now, because they connected with you, and so I want to make sure we give them some shout outs and help them out too. So last question I have for you about your program is, how is your background in the NFL? How is that influencing your approach to the coaching of the esports?
Oh, big time influence. What's that? Both. Oh, well, I had a protein shake. Talking to my wife there. So it's hand in hand. That influence, that's where like the kid's going to experience what I experienced during training camp. But obviously they won't be hot and sweaty.
Not
and
quite as physical, yeah.
All that stuff like I did. But they're going to see the time that's put in a day. They're going to be like, oh man, we're going from thing to thing. Like we got wake up at 8 o'clock. We got breakfast at 9 o'clock. We got practice starts at 9:30 to 12:30. Then right after practice, we go to, we wait. It's about an hour break to kind of get our brains recalibrated, and then we got team training. We're gonna be in the weight room for an hour. Then we go from the weight room, take a shower, go to lunch, and then maybe a team film review, and then film review to dinner time, and then practice, second practice, and then dinner. Maybe or dinner before second practice. So yeah, they're gonna see how the schedule is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
and like
regimented, scheduled.
Right, a regimented schedule. They'd be like, oh, okay, this is what coach is talking about. This is how, it might be not like the traditional orgs may do. I haven't really studied any of what they've done, but I just know what worked for me in football. And if it doesn't work, then I tried it out, and then
you adapt and change.
I'll go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, that didn't work, but I will give it a shot with this thing.
I know
this, make a mistake, clear the chalkboard, and then go to the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of esports orgs all over the country, all over the world, it's new for all of us. So a lot of the stuff is still trial and error. It's you take something that makes sense, something like a regimented schedule with practice time, nutrition, physical activity, which on paper sounds like it would work really well, considering that's a holistic approach. And then, of course, if it doesn't work, then you look at it and figure out why did it go wrong, and then change it and work on it until you figure it out. But I know you and I had spoke earlier about, in particular, the values that you learned as a team player, for example, in the NFL, and how that's going to translate over. So can you talk a little bit about that, about the team aspect, being a good teammate, and those in that sense.
Right. So training camp 2 brought us together as teammates. So we'd be off in where we're from, California, Nebraska, wherever, and now we get to be with our teammates, guys that we've worked with in previous years as a veteran, but then we got rookies coming in, or we have freshmen coming in that are now meeting new teammates for the first time, or transfer students. We have a few. So that's another thing about training camp. We could hang out together. We find out what each other don't like about one another, or about gaming, or whatever. We find out our weaknesses, our strengths about one another, and because we got to be around each other for the next 2 to 3 months, because of what the esports season is asking of us as players, is to play together, do this game at a high level, but then that means we got to communicate, we got to do certain things to make sure that we know what to do.
Yeah. And you were just saying your schedule is so strict and so regimented. These kids are going to be seeing each other all the time. So you have to learn to appreciate each other's time. You have to learn how to be a good teammate. And I know it's the same thing in traditional sports, where if you you don't necessarily have to love your teammates. You don't even necessarily have to like your teammates, but you do have to respect them enough that when you go out as a team, you're gonna have their back. You're gonna play for them as much as you're going to play for yourself, because if you don't do that, you will not succeed in a team game.
Exactly. And then JFK, yep, the regular college athlete schedule. That's what we doing at Lakeland.
Yeah, that's awesome. My favorite part about your program design so far is that you're looking at the holistic approach. You're paying attention to what they're eating and drinking. You're paying attention to their general health. You're paying attention to their physical health. Not only just let's be good at video games. It's like, let's be educated, let's be healthy, and then also let's be good at video games.
Exactly. I'm slow brick by brick, build a well-rounded esports athlete, well-rounded human being, basically.
Yeah, because
did I just miss it? Darn it.
Oh no. I'm watching.
I barely missed that field goal.
Oh, directly against the post. That's
yeah. Had a good drive too.
I know that it's definitely the same thing now in esports as it was for collegiate traditional athlete. That not everybody goes pro, and the percentage of people who do go pro is actually pretty low. It's very low.
Yeah.
So you are taking the approach of, I want them to succeed in what they came here for in terms of video games. But the reality is, not all of you are going to become pro, so I want you to succeed as people outside of gaming as well. and I think that's a valuable approach, and it's cool to see that gaming is important, but being a good person and being a healthy person is more important to you. It's a humbling approach, which is nice to see.
And JFK, yes, I am looking for assistant coaches, so student employees and student assistants. That's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been actually interviewing kids too. That's been fun.
That's cool. Yeah. So now I want to shift focus for the last maybe 5-10 minutes of this and bring in the products that you had mentioned a few times and stuff. The reason that we have this interview. So I'm going to show it on screen right now. This product is called Skin. It's called Got Pain by a company, skins.gg. So you can check out their website at skins with a Z, SKINZ.gg. I'm going to post it in my chat. So they are the company that brought Ahman and me together today. And the company is a health and wellness company, similar, not so much similar to mine. Mine is more physical health, chiropractic approach, where Skins is more on the product end. So their first product is the one that I just showed. It's called Got Pain, and it's a CBD infused topical cream. Sorry, I just pulled my headphones. 1 sec. So we have a CBD infused topical cream. So my first question to you is, are you familiar with CBD products in general?
Yes, I am. I worked with some companies. I'm working with a company now that actually produce some of the same ideas of what you guys are doing now.
Okay. And do you use CBD products in any capacity?
Yes, I do. Oh, he missed a field goal too. Sweet. We're even. Yes, I do. I have one. I have all the products. One helps me sleep a little better if I'm having a rough time going to sleep, and another one deals with anxiety and stuff like that, and relaxation and stuff like that. So yeah.
Awesome. I know Skins only reached out to you within the last maybe month or so. Have they sent out their product to you yet, and have you been able to try the CBD topical cream from Skins yet?
Yes, they actually sent it out. I didn't get a chance to try it out yet, but
okay.
I will. Yep.
Yeah. So, but you do have it. Yeah. So the good news is, if you haven't used it, then hopefully it's because you haven't been in pain to use it, which would be a good thing, because it's primarily a pain relief. So if you're forgetting to use it, hopefully that means it's because you're not in pain.
Exactly. I was like, it's one not big, this soreness from working out, little soreness, little bits and pieces here and there, nothing serious though.
Yeah, that soreness is the good pain. We love that pain.
Yeah, gotta have that.
So I just want to give a quick background real quick on the product while you're still with us, and then there was one more question in chat that I'll get to. So the background of the CBD products, Got Pain included, is that CBD works by inhibiting the destructive enzymes that will take away molecules called endocannabinoids. So I know this is kind of a very educated sounding conversation, but endocannabinoids are molecules that your body produces to essentially make your cells do what they're supposed to at an efficient rate. So by adding CBD, you're eliminating your body's breakdown of those molecules. So now you have more of them. So if you have the endocannabinoids to maintain a balance in your mind, then you won't be anxious. If you have endocannabinoids to maintain your nerve function, then you'll have decreased pain. So that's how those things work. And the CBD topical cream is so useful because there is a tremendous amount of CBD receptors. They're called CB1 and CB2 receptors in your skin. So your skin is absorbing those CBD molecules readily, and then the endocannabinoids are able to do their job and maintain optimal health for whichever portion of your body you choose to use. So CBD products in general are wonderful because they come from hemp, so they will not make you high. It's less than 0.3% THC, which is the psychoactive ingredient. So it'll never get you high. It shouldn't show up on a drug test, and I haven't seen any negative effects of a standard CBD product. I've only seen the benefits, and the benefits are exceptional. It's decreased pain, decreased anxiety, improved gut health, improved sleeping, improved mood. I mean, if there's a benefit that's available, it's probably going to be found through the use of CBD. So I urge everybody to check out CBD products. Because we're here with Skins, I'm going to specifically recommend skins.gg Got Pain Topical Cream.
Yeah. And Robo, yeah, right now, in terms of fans into the facility, it's more just a wait and see. Because I know right now we're getting back on campus. Some of the sports like NCAA has pushed a lot of sports off until January of 2021. So right now, it just be, from what I know, just be the gamers and be able to be in the facility gaming. Come on, guys, block that in, block the defensive end.
So I
to answer your question, Robo.
Sorry, I have another question from chat. They want to know how many kids are you recruiting for the team? And I think just a quick background for that question. You had mentioned there's 6 or 7 different games, right?
Yeah, it's so I've recruited I got 27 active roster players right now. I've recruited probably double that, and majority of the players are COD players. Oh man. And we have Rocket League, we have Rainbow Six. So I'll say right now that I know that'll be there in a few weeks. It's going to be 27 total.
Okay.
Like I said, I probably recruited like 50 or 60 different players from different websites and just from kids reaching out to me, which has been awesome. It's been a great experience so far.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you got kids like I remember a couple cases. One young lady, I believe she plays League of Legends and maybe Fortnite, and she was like, her and her dad sent me an email back saying, "Is this a joke? Is this really Ahman Green, the former Packer?" Because they were Packer fans. And I said in the email, it was like addressed to me and our vice president of enrollment, Sam Paulette, and him and I said, "Yeah, this is really Ahman, and it's a real email. We're not just sending the email, fishing around, catfishing people.
Yeah,
no, it's
legit.
This is Ahman Green, and I'm the head coach of esports at Lakeland University. I looked at your daughter's stats on a website that we use called Geo, and saw that she was interested in coming to college as an esports player, and we're looking to recruit her. So
that's awesome.
It was just funny because they're like, "No way, this can't be real. This is not." He's like, "Ahman Green played football. What's he doing playing?"
Yeah, right.
Recruiting my daughter as an esports coach.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of the same thing that I ran into when they mentioned you. So the Skins team got in touch with me and said that they got a hold of Ahman Green, and then they wanted me to speak to you about the program. So my brother and I are Packers fans as well. So I told him, and I was like, "Dude, you gotta hear who I'm interviewing in a couple weeks. You'll never guess." And I told him Ahman Green. And if you told us 20 years ago, as little children, Packers fans, that we would be speaking to you while we were watching you on TV, I don't think in a million years we ever would have guessed that you and I would be speaking because of video games versus because of football.
Right. Exactly.
It's like out of everything, like you get to talk to a pro NFL player. What's the reason? The reason is video games. It's a really interesting connection, but here we are, and it's a great industry, and obviously you and I found the same interest in it because it's competitive, it's fun, it gives you an opportunity to meet so many new people. For you, so far you've been able to travel. I'm trying to get there too. It's an exciting industry to be part of.
Like since COVID, Comic-Con, E3, all these places that I go, I can't go.
Yeah, it's such a shame. 2020, we had big plans too. We already had 3 events that we were supposed to go and participate in. So that's back to when you had mentioned what my company does, Esports Healthcare. Our main goal is to actually go and be providers at events. So you picture your big esports events, and you have a chiropractor on staff adjusting whoever needs it. So I mean, you've been sitting there playing for 10 hours. You're losers bracket grinding out to try to make it back to finals, and you've been sitting all
Right.
day and your back hurts. What are you going to do about it? Well, Esports Healthcare has that solution, but and then we got canceled because of COVID.
Right. It's like, oh, because I go there for fun. In terms of E3 and all them places.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah, it's just like we got handicapped in a lot of areas.
yeah, it's all right. It gave us an opportunity, like it gave you an opportunity to build up your program a little bit. It gave us an opportunity to build up our website and content. So, and the good news is esports continues because we are just our main focus is trying to get to events, but we can still maintain some of these events through the internet gaming, which is better than, for example, the NFL and the NBA and MLB, where they had to move stuff around because they can't play online.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They gotta do the bubble. They gotta
Yeah,
make sure they clean everything. So yeah, it gets interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We're in the chat here. My camera. I don't know why my camera keeps freezing. It like freezes every 5 seconds.
yeah. Probably
I
because
got.
what you
I
said
got.
earlier about having the camera on two feeds.
Right, but it was doing this last week too for a little bit,
Oh,
but not as much as it is today. It's crazy.
so we got a question
It's
from
crazy.
your chat. Will your esports team be traveling across the U.S. for tournaments when it's not COVID time?
Yes, that is my plan because just like we're talking about the health aspect of what I'm teaching and going to develop among my esports player, I want them to experience college because
Mm-hmm.
college, is you leave home and you grow by yourself now.
Mm-hmm.
You're away from your mom, your dad, your brothers and sisters. If you have a lot of siblings, and now you get to become the person you're going to become the adult of one day. And
Yeah.
so you do that by going out and experiencing things. You don't do that just sitting there um, twiddling your thumbs. With gaming, we could go different places. We could go, places in the United States, Los Angeles, New York. A lot of places where people it's like, oh man, I've never been there before. And do that. Los Angeles, Seattle, which is the mecca of gaming in some instance here in the U.S. So, and then out of internationally, we could head over to England, places I haven't been yet. I want to go over to parts of Asia, China, Japan, because that's where esports. I say that's the mecca over there, overseas, because where it was created.
Mm-hmm.
Games like StarCraft.
Oh yeah,
Was
StarCraft in the U.S. is not much. StarCraft on the eastern side of the planet is huge. It is so
right.
big.
And StarCraft in Korea is amazing.
Yeah, it's
The people there.
I work with a gamer who was a Counter Strike pro, and
Mm,
I asked him the same question once about travel. I was like, where have you been because of Counter Strike? And he started naming cities, and then he actually went on his own like Wikipedia gamer page, and then
mm,
remembered like seven more cities that he had been to. He's like, oh yeah, I remember going there. Oh yeah, I remember going to Germany. So I was like, how many of those cities do you think you would have seen if you didn't play video games? And he
exactly.
was like, maybe two of them. I would have went to Europe once. I would have went to Italy once, but like he wouldn't have went to Germany. He wouldn't have went to some of those other cities in Eastern Europe and some of those cities in Asia. But he's been everywhere. Counter Strike, those guys went literally everywhere when CS:GO was still active before COVID. It's
Exactly.
so hopefully you guys get to do that again soon because that'll
That's
be
the plan.
yeah that's the ultimate college experience for the athlete, right? Is the
Yeah.
traveling to different cities and playing your game, playing your sport, playing your video game in our sense. That's the dream, right?
That's the dream. And then you get cultured. You experience things. You do a lot of things that a lot of people just kind of talk about and
Mm-hmm.
want to do. You get out there and do it though.
Yeah, and then the pros we've seen. You mentioned a couple of them earlier. The pros, some of them become celebrities, and
Yeah.
it's so cool.
So it is interesting. You get guys like I'm trying to say guys that were pros that are gaming now, or vice versa. The guys are still playing like Kevin Ware. He was the Louisville player that broke his leg a couple
Oh
years
my
ago.
God! On Easter, I
He was
remember that.
right, and he was in a tournament that I played in last night, and his team hands down. I mean, it wasn't even close. I think they had 250, 206 eliminations compared to like everybody's. Like we came in fourth, and we had around 90 to 100
And they,
eliminations.
and they had
So it was just
250.
like,
That's crazy.
and then somebody like Gordon Hayward, that's a League of Legends player that plays for the Celtics.
Hmm.
That is inspiring to young kids. It's like,
Yeah, I
oh man, look
know.
what I.
I've seen Baker Mayfield playing too. I think he played Halo a little bit.
Yeah, I was trying to get him on the sticks. He didn't take
Yeah.
the invite,
Oh
so I'm still
man.
looking for you, Baker. I'm coming for you, Baker. I want to play some heads, some free for all against you, bro. See what you like. Have some fun, getting some headshots.
All right. So that wraps up the questions I had for you today. So
Okay.
I'm gonna sign off my end here, but I just want to we'll speak to my chat briefly and then sign you off. So for everybody who's still here in my chat, I appreciate you coming by. If you're watching the VOD later, thanks for supporting. And thank you, Ahman, for hanging with us for this last hour, answering these questions, giving us some insight on your new career as the head
You're
coach of
welcome.
esports at Lakeland University. And congratulations on that title, because that's pretty cool. So I wish you good luck, and
Thank you.
I hope your program succeeds. I know they will because you have great plans, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. So thanks again for joining me and participating in this interview.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me. Can't wait to get it going.
I got my chat throwing their
Oh,
thanks as well. So my chat thanks you as well.
all right. You guys are welcome. Talk to you later.
All right.
All right, Doc.